Hi, Stephen here from Inexteriors Painters and Decorators, and you're watching Inexteriors TV. In this video we're going to be lining a ceiling. If you would like to purchase some of the similar tools that are used for this task, please feel free to check out the links in the description below. And also, if you're planning on doing any other decorating works, please feel free to visit my tool store. The links are also in the description below. So with that said, let's do this. Right, let's take a look at the ceiling that we're going to be lining. Right, this is the ceiling that we're going to be lining, and as you can see there, I've took the smoke alarm off and the light down, but I've left the bracket on because I know that when this is done there's quite a heavy lampshade going on there, so I know that there's two good fixings in there into the ceiling, so I don't want to disturb it, so I'm just gonna paper around it. If you would like to know how I scraped and sanded, filled and sized this ceiling, there will be a playlist that pops up at the end of this video on an end screen. For this first piece, I'm not going to run a plumb line or a string line because it's only a small ceiling, so I'm just going to go up along the edge of the wall and use that as my plumb line, so to speak, because it's only small and I can see that it's not going to run out before I start. The paste that I'm using for this lining paper is a ready mixed paste. So as you can see here, I'm using a cork board to smooth it out. Other people use a paper hanging brush or a slinging brush. I was just taught to use a cork board, but you must make sure your prep's really good and not to have bits, otherwise you can end up tearing the paper when you're smoothing it out. When you're making cuts like this, always make sure you've got a new blade in. To help offer it up to the ceiling, I've got a bit of lining paper rolled up and I'm using it as like a prop. It does help to carry the wallpaper along the ceiling, especially when it's a bigger ceiling as well. I best add this in there. This is a 1400 grade lining paper that I'm using. Once the paper's on and smoothed, I like to make my cuts, and how I like to do that is mark it with the pencil and then just cut it with the scissors. Also, when I'm applying a piece of paper next to a piece of paper, I don't personally butt joint them right up. I like to leave a mil or two gap, and then I generally fill mine, where other people butt theirs up. It's just everybody does it different, that's all. When you're doing pieces like this, just take your time, and also if you've got any holes and you paper over them, make sure you pierce the holes because you don't want to be looking for them after. All you need to do is just push your scissors through and then just poke them through the holes, or get a screw and push them through the holes. When you're making cuts, always cut to the points, and also always have a sharp pair of scissors. Always read the instructions that come with your lining paper, because you need to know how long the soaking times are that you need to leave it once you've pasted the paper. This one recommended 8 to 12 minute soaking time once it was pasted. And this is the part where I need to pierce my holes, because I need to screw the smoke alarm back up, so I don't want to be looking for them after. I do try and do the talking when I'm doing the video these days, but what happened with this one, the client was in the room there on a video call, so I couldn't do the talking because you would have heard him talking to his client in the background, so I had no choice but to do a voiceover with this video. We knew when we started this ceiling it was never going to be perfect, but there's no such thing as perfection, and I take progress over perfection any day of the week. And you know what, at the end of the day we know we've done our best and we know that we've improved this ceiling, and that is all that matters. Don't forget to wipe off any excess paste. Here's a reminder of what the ceiling used to look like, and here's what the ceiling looks like now it's all been lined. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.